This little lynx had never given birth before, and no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't do it on her own. So she turned to the only place she thought someone could help her. And she wasn't wrong when she approached this little grandma from Slovenia who did everything she could to help this desperate mother. Today's story takes place in the beautiful village of Canal, located in Slovenia, a small town characterized by the yellowish color of its waters that extend from the mountains to the sea, and surrounded by a very picturesque forest where several species of animals live, among them the boreal lynx. This happened in early spring when the forest stands out in all its splendor, a time when all the neighbors of the nearby town take the opportunity to visit this beautiful place. But of course, taking care not to go much deeper because danger lurks in the depths of the forest. Knowing this, Greta Novak, a grandmother from the area, woke up one Monday morning with the intention of looking for mushrooms and fruits in the forest, an activity that this lady, who lived alone in her house, frequently performed, as her children had long ago moved to the big cities, but of course they did not forget to visit her from time to time. After picking her mushrooms and fruits in the forest, the woman realized that there was still a lot of the morning left to enjoy, so she took her improvised net to try to catch some fish in the river. The woman chose a reasonably open spot near the river with almost no trees or bushes. The whole area was obviously clear from any direction. After about 10 minutes, the woman was able to catch a fairly large trout. Greta was delighted and continued to do the same for a while. However, she was so distracted by her activity that she forgot that the place she was in could be dangerous. It was at that exact moment when Greta heard a rustling sound behind her that she again realized where she actually was. Greta panicked, but when she turned around, all she saw was a lynx about 3 feet away that apparently had come out of the forest to smell Greta's recent catch and was now standing there staring with very hungry eyes at the fish she had caught. The woman, while afraid of the animal, took pity on it, for it was just a hungry kitten. So she grabbed one of the fish she had caught and she slowly carried it towards the place where the lynx was. As she got closer, she could see that it was indeed a female lynx, and that she was in an advanced state of pregnancy. The lynx understood that the old woman meant her no harm, and moved closer to receive the food she was offering, which it soon devoured in a matter of minutes. Although the truth is, this female lynx had not approached the lady because she was hungry. In fact, she was looking for another kind of help, because this new mother, no matter how hard she tried, was unable to give birth to her babies. It was as if they were trapped inside her, and no matter how hard she pushed, she could not get them out. Perhaps she didn't know how to do it, or the pain had just made her desperate. But in any case, guided by her instinct, she had resorted to other species that knew well what childbirth meant. It was then that she saw this granny fishing and decided to approach her for help. Greta quickly realized that the lynx was injured as she saw traces of dried blood on its hind legs, which meant that it was having problems with the birth, as it clearly still had its young in its belly. The woman never had any formal studies in her life, but she was still considered a very wise woman. And when it came to animals, she had a great deal of experience helping them. Several times she had participated in both animal and human births, so this lynx had come to the right place. Greta waited patiently for the lynx to finish eating and then said, "Come home with me, friend." The lynx obeyed, and together they went to Greta's house. Once inside, the woman prepared all the necessary implements to help this mother bring her kittens into the world. Thus began the arduous task of giving birth. The lynx was in a lot of pain, but Greta was there for her. With caresses and sweet words, the woman managed to calm the animal, and little by little, she encouraged her to bring these little ones into the world. This woman's face beamed with happiness when she saw the first one poke its head out. That was when this mother lynx was finally relieved that the first of her children had been born. However, this was not the end of the story. The labor went on for several hours, 8 hours to be exact, during which Greta did not leave her side and was finally able to rest in the knowledge that her children were all alive and well. Unfortunately, this great effort cost the life of this lynx, who fought for her children to reach this world. Greta regretted not being able to help this mother more, so she felt responsible for her children's lives. She had to make this lynx's sacrifice worthwhile. Greta did everything she could to find a way to keep these little ones alive. The most important thing was to find a mother who could feed them, but it would be an impossible task to find another lynx in the forest willing to feed these little ones. It was at that moment that she remembered that the cat in the community had recently given birth, and hopefully would be able to take these little ones too as her own. It was then that the woman sought out the cat to have her socialize with these little orphans. And to her good fortune, the cat felt a connection with them and took them as her children. And so it was that these 4 lynxes grew up under the care of their new foster mother. And this grandmother had fulfilled the last will of the dying mother lynx who had been placed in her path by fate. The interaction between the little lynxes and the cat is worth seeing. They play with their mother as if they were completely unaware that she's of a different species. 2 years have passed since this event. 2 years in which Greta has fervently taken care of her pets, which has not caused her any problems at all. Today, 65-year-old Greta has become a celebrity in her village. She is known for being the woman who has pet lynxes, which has prompted several media interviews where the woman has expressed, "Well, the real challenge is the health of the young lynxes, so there were numerous problems we had to overcome, from infections and poor immunity to bone weakness." Nevertheless, Greta is quick to discourage others from rescuing lynx without investigating their medical, dietary, and behavioral needs. According to her, a lynx is not for everyone, and a failure in domestication can be a disaster. But nevertheless, Greta's tamed and healthy lynxes have a happy, lifelong home. "I often encounter the opinion that my animals should be released into the wild," she told one of the media outlets that interviewed her. "However, that's wishful thinking. The animals were bred in captivity. They are not equipped for life in the wild. They don't have the behavioral patterns necessary for survival. Those lynxes grew up with me, and it was their mother's wish for me to care for them. If I release them into the wild, they probably won't survive, and I don't plan to fail on my promise." The woman recounts how each of these lynxes have distinct personalities. Today, every time Greta takes one of the lynxes out for a walk, she immediately sees the others waiting for their turn to go for a walk. Their favorite place is the river, where Greta saw their mother for the first time. The felines weigh around 30 kilos and cast an intimidating shadow. Standing on its hind legs, one of them is as tall as Greta. At 165 centimeters, it's hilarious to watch them interact with their adoptive mother. They still have a lot of affection and respect for the cat who accepted them as her children and nursed them when they were orphans, Greta says. A couple of them are more sociable than the other 2. However, they're all friendly with anyone, Greta says. Their only chance for a good life, she insists, is in the care of responsible people. And she hopes she has enough life left to care for her lynxes because she doesn't know what will become of them once she's no longer around. The woman hopes that someone else in town can take over when she passes on. This was today's video of the day. We hope you really liked it, but now it's your turn to answer these questions and participate in the discussion. Did you like the story of Greta and this mother lynx who didn't hesitate to ask for help when she needed it most? What did you think of Greta's decision to adopt this lynx's children? Do you think she did the right thing, or should she have released them as soon as they were old enough? Let us know your opinion in the comments. You can also take this opportunity to leave us a like so that we know you're liking our content and so that we know to keep making more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.